Welcome back to Daytime. I'm joined by Timm Holmes, who is an author, and I love the title of this book, Peanut Butter and Dragon, and he joins us to talk about the release of your new book, and it is a new book, isn't it?
It's brand spanking new.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited to share it with you guys here, and of course with all the potential readers. I'll be meeting at the Indigo Barrhaven event we're having to launch the book this Saturday.
That's really exciting. You know, I think every time I meet an author, I always wonder, how does an idea, come to you? And, clearly the title is phenomenal, Peanut Butter and Dragon. I don't know if anybody can catch that at home, which is lots of fun right there. Everybody can see that. The title doesn't always come first, right?
No, the title very much came at the end. We played around with a number of different titles. But this is the first book in a series called The Mostly Made Up Adventures of Malcolm and Cooper.
Wow.
And it's based on improvised bedtime stories that I've told my boys over the last few years.
Just going to get you to grab that microphone close to you. There you go.
So it's, again, it's called The Mostly Made Up Adventures of Malcolm and Cooper.
Okay.
And it's a series of stories. This is the first in that series. And it's based on improvised bedtime stories that I've told my two boys over the last couple of years and whatnot.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So you know that this is going to be a series. Did you know it was going to be a series when you started writing?
Not at all. It actually came about very sort of a natural, fluid way. Is we read to our boys, just like my parents did to me.
Yeah.
We read to our boys every night before they go to bed, and then my wife sings to them, and they love that whole process. I've been a writer since I've been about 8 years old, and just been constantly writing. And so when I began to switch out and go, hey, you know what? Let's not read a book tonight. Let's improvise a story. What do you guys want to hear about tonight? And that became a process. And after the second or third time I'd done that, after the second or third time we'd improvised a story, my wife turned to me and said, you should probably write that down. That one was pretty good.
Oh, fun.
And so that has now become a process, and it's created 12 stories, the first of which is Peanut Butter and Dragon.
Very good. So you were able to sort of create 12 stories over how long do you think it took you?
It was a course of 6 to 10 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it came up, the teachers at my boys' school discovered that I was a writer. And at the time, all I had was a Word document with text. So I scrambled to go, how do I create? They invited me to read at Education Week last May.
Okay.
How do I possibly come up with something that I can read to kids? I need some pictures of this. So we scrambled about a couple of different techniques, and we came up with a trick photography, Photoshop, and a couple of filters, and we've created some art in it as well.
Because it's really interesting, because when I read your bio, it's like, I can't draw.
I can't draw.
One of those things that you can't draw, I'm like, okay, well, you're going to make a children's book, but you can't draw. How do you do that? But you found a way to do it.
We did. We found a way under the gun and under pressure to produce something for this Education Week last May in 2016, and I've since created this version here. And again, it came out on Amazon last month. We just celebrated its month-long birthday, and we'll be celebrating it physically in Barrhaven Indigo now.
All right, so let's talk about that a little bit. Is that one of those things people can just show up for? You have to sign up? How does that work?
Yeah, no sign up at all. It's just you can come on in anytime. It runs from 12 to 4, and I'll be there. I'll do a couple of different readings to any kids group that is there, and I'll also be signing any books if anybody wants my autograph there. Make me feel famous. But it's been a great experience so far, and some great feedback with the books. I've had a lot of chance to read it.
So can we talk about Peanut Butter and Dragon? Is the dragon's name Peanut Butter?
It is basically Peanut Butter and Dragon is just a play on peanut butter and jelly. Really is what it is. And what happens is a hungry dragon lands in the neighborhood, and Malcolm and Cooper have to come up with a peanut butter plan to save the day.
Okay, I like that. Now, I was talking to you earlier, and I thought, okay, so a lot of times you read a kid book, and there's like some sort of morale, or something to learn from it, or some kind of story that connects to us. And you said not really.
No, my favorite stories that, again, going back to my parents reading me stories, Dr. Seuss, Robert Munch, those were my influences, and those I just love the frivolous fun of those stories. And I thought, if I'm ever going to do this, if I'm going to make this a series of kids books, if I'm going to get into that, that's what I want to provide too for my kids and other kids. Just something that's frivolous and fun and goofy to read at bedtime, to give those happy thoughts as we fall asleep.
Really interesting. Now, it's a series. How many more books did you say?
There's 12 in the series right now, but it's constantly growing, because it ends up being, I'll improvise something this evening for the boys, right? So it's always growing. There's always new ideas. Some of them good, some of them not so good. So,
but I guess we have the publishers and all those people that help you along the way decide, yeah, we can tweak this a little bit, because it doesn't happen overnight, does it? This whole publishing a book thing.
Not at all. And in my case, I actually went independently, and then Amazon has an amazing setup with a third-party site as well called CreateSpace, and I was able to, from the get-go, because I'm technically savvy as well, I need a little bit of Photoshop knowledge and whatnot to work with their documents and templates. but I was able to create this on my own.
Very good.
And independently publish it.
It's a great way to start. Now, let's talk about Young Writers Workshop.
Love it, love it. It is one of the things I love is seeing the excitement of in kids of being excited about reading, being excited about writing, and so I've had an opportunity to create a workshop called Start a Story. And Start a Story Workshop is something I've run at schools. I go to classrooms. I actually have another workshop I'm running tomorrow with a grade 2 class, and it's a 75-minute experience where we as a group vote on different changes in the story, and we create a story together. At the end of that 75-minute period, I theatrically present the story that we've written as a group. As
a group, everyone together. So everyone chips in an idea, or a sentence, or a picture, something that has to do with the book.
Yeah, there's a lot of visual stuff. We have the kids do different drawings, and that more than add drawings to our story, it's about having them think about what they want the characters to do, how they want the story to go. We start with our beginning and our end to know where we're headed, and then we build the middle together. And again, as I said, we sort of do a theatrical presentation at the end of that story. And to see the kids get excited about this is just the greatest thing in the world.
It must be really, well, because we need to continue with the reading and the writing. You know, we have to stop with this texting with short form and like little short letters that mean something. I have to ask my kids all the time, what are you telling me, right? Because it's kind of like the new drill now.
Yeah.
So this is really exciting.
And as an author, you sort of have to play both paths, right? So I've got the physical book available. There's also a digital version available for those who prefer to read that way. So
you know, reading is reading.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I tell my kids all the time. Reading is reading. Whether you want to read a novel, you want to read, you know, a comic book, it's words. It's still, you know, it's still reading, and that's what counts the most. Well, I have to tell you, I'm already excited for the second one.
Oh, thank you.
So we'll have to tell everybody, make sure you pick this one up. Find it at Amazon?
Amazon, yeah. Every Amazon site has it, both digital and physical. And again, at Indigo Barrhaven this Saturday, June 10th, 12 to 4. I'll be there.
In Peanut Butter and Dragon. And now I can't wait to see what number 2 and 3 and 4 and all the way to 12 is going to have to offer us. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We have one more guest. Stay with us. Lots more after the break.